You teach people how to treat you, and people treat you how you let them. Hey there, hey there. If you don't know the clip, real. Hey there, you hey there. This mic picks up everything, and if I like move my hand around too much, it's gonna pick it up. So when I was holding everything, I was subconsciously holding my breath so that I didn't move. And I can feel that I'm still doing it now. So bear with me. But welcome to Thought and Spoken, episode 2, titled Why Try? Very angsty this afternoon. So this time I do indeed have notes because I'm trying to show y'all that I'm serious about this. And my AC is of course going to kick on when I turn. Okay. You're like my little friend. I got her for my birthday. Anyway, let's get into why we are here today. So, I wanted to start this off on my journey in terms of effort and how much I put into what I do. So, when I was in Standard 6, for those of you who don't know, I'm calling it Standard because I did Standard 5 to Form 5 in Botswana, Africa, and that's what it's called, but grade 6, 6th grade, it's the same thing. When I was in Standard 6, also, a lot of schools over there have uniform, mine did, and we had CV's days where you could wear your at-home clothes, and I think it was 5 pula in my day. I don't know how much it is now. So I was so excited. I knew this day was coming and I had my outfit picked in my brain. And the night before, I picked it out and I laid it out and I'm like, oh, I'm going to eat the girls down with this one. This is it. And it was like, I don't have any pictures of that day. I didn't have a phone at the time, I don't think. It was like this top that was like tight up to the waist. Then it kind of like flared out in layers. And then I had these like 3/4 leggings. The top was white, and then the 3/4 leggings with the like lace trim at the bottom, they were like, I think multicolored or something, or they were like a solid color. And then the shoes were like these like floral Converse. And when I tell you I was so confident walking into school that day, I thought I was that girl. And I walk into class, and throughout the day, people were just looking at me. And it wasn't like a look of, ooh, like look at her. It was like a look of confusion. And I've never forgotten it to this day, because you can tell I don't remember the outfit in thorough detail, but I remember the way that people were looking at me. And that is, when I tell you by the end of the day, I hated that outfit. I hated it so much. I don't even think I put anything together with that silhouette ever again in my life, because I just felt so other. And I remember one girl made a comment about it, and it wasn't like a good one. And it was like an inquisitive one where she's like, why did you wear that? Why would you wear that? And I mean, around that time I was also getting bullied, so fuel for the fire, I guess. That was the first time I had an experience with genuinely trying and doing something that I loved and having it be received so poorly and judgmentally. And I think that experience has definitely spilled into how much effort I put into things today. And in high school, I skipped Standard 7, so after that year, I was at a different school. It was a high school, but it was right across the road, so no real difference. It's after Thanksgiving break, and my kids, being my residents, are coming back, and I'm sure they can hear me. Like, I'm pretty sure. Also, it's kind of getting to me that I forgot to put lip gloss on, so I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so I was at high school. I think people thought I was a tryhard. Genuinely, I do. And there are probably people who could look back and be like, yeah, girl, absolutely. Was I a tryhard, or were other people not trying hard enough? I'm gonna let you sit with that for a second. Okay. Again, I tried my hardest with academics and being a good child, and people saw that. And yeah, I was judged for that. But I would say the bullying stopped, like explicitly bullying. Form 1 and 2 were just a crazy time. I wasn't bullied. I think I just wasn't very likable. So I'm not gonna label that as bullying. Well, this story said yeah. So the bullying really stopped in high school, but I think people still had their own qualms with how I decided to move about my life. Some warranted, some genuinely not. Like, people were tripping for no reason. And when I got to college, I used to do OOTDs every day on my WhatsApp status, because I was like, this is what you do when you get to college. You show up, you show out every single day. And I dressed pretty good. I'll insert some pictures here randomly of like outfits that I had. And I would steam my clothes the night before every day. And I would lay my clothes out so I knew what I was going to wear. Literally waking up was just like, wake up, put the clothes on, of course, brush my teeth, get ready, all that stuff, and head out. Like, I was serious about how I presented myself, as one should be, right? Again, effort. And in college, no one really cares how you look, so that's not really where that story's going. I just wanted to give another anecdote of like how much I used to try. And the use of past tense is what I'm going to get into soon. I think something that hindered me from posting on here for quite a while is that when you try, people know that you're trying and they can see that you're trying. And when you're trying at something and you're failing, people then have something to talk about. And that in and of itself is embarrassing to me. And I think, like most people, I have a fear or distaste for being embarrassed. So I'm like, okay, if I don't try, no one's going to have anything to judge me off of. So therefore, I will not try and I will not be judged. What a way to think, right? Right.
Yeah, right.
I think effort is something in this generation that either goes really well or really poorly, because like there are so many people on TikTok who will do a dance and really think they ate, and their video will blow up, but not because they did good, but because they did bad, and then they are all of a sudden a meme. And some people are good sports about it and they play into it, but you don't really know how they received it at first, you know? And it's things like that that really get to me. I would hate for someone to find my YouTube channel or find my TikTok and be like, oh my gosh, look at her, she's trying and she's failing so hard. And it's something that I've really had to grapple with having it's not even like that. I was going to call it an online presence, but that just seems like so self-important. I'm just there, you know? That's one thing I'm scared of, is like me genuinely trying, putting something out that I'm happy with, and then people just tearing it apart and being like, oh, look at that. And of course, I do think that fear of judgment and ridicule does stem from me being bullied when I was younger, because if you are picked apart for just existing with the way you look, speak, act, when you start to actually try to do stuff, because you don't have to try to exist, you just do. When you start to try, it heightens the fear of being picked apart, because people did it to me when I was literally not even bothering them, not doing anything to them, just me being me, you know? I feel like, surprisingly, this is a lot more scatterbrained than my last one where I didn't have notes. But we move, we try. The first thing to go in terms of my effort was my outfits and the way that I dressed. I had a moment of vulnerability. In my freshman year, I had the probably biggest bout of an anxiety flare-up that I have ever had for an extended period of time. And I just needed people to not look at me, not perceive me So if you dress nice, like, people are gonna like look at you. So the first thing to go with my effort was the way that I dressed. I went from dressing in like cute clothes, or at least the colors matching, and like stacking my jewelry all nice, to sweatpants, sweatshirt, don't look at me. Like, I scaled it down 110 million%. Like, I used to be the person that would sit at the front of the class, and I now sit at the back of the class. I did not want to be perceived at all. So I was like, I need to stop dressing as good. And I think that was a subconscious thing, but now I'm looking back, I'm like, that's when that started. And I ended up transferring schools, so I'm at a different school now. And the way that I dressed carried through, even though my anxiety got much better and it's not really something I struggle with anymore, but I still dressed like I did in that time. And maybe that's another subconscious thing that's carried through, you know? I didn't really think much of it though. Like, leggings and like a sweatshirt is like my go-to, because I think it is important to present yourself well and dress nicely. But the further I go in my academic career, I'm like, get out the door, go to your classes. Not necessarily the whole life isn't a fashion show thing, but I think like, I feel like I'm putting my energy into other things. That's what I'm saying. To the people that always dress up and like have a signature style, I love it. I love seeing them on campus. I think it is so cool, and I just love it. I do. Every time I tell this story, I'm like, why did I ever put up with people that treated me like that? But you know those friendship polls that were popular on TikTok, like the Google Forms? I was in a friend group, and 2 of them made it, and there were 4 of us in the group. And when we hung out and we did the voting, one of the questions was worst dressed. And, you know, it's a pie chart for who votes for who. And the pie chart 100% was me. So all 3 of them voted for me, and I also voted for myself, because I just felt really down on myself in that moment. And I was like, wow, they all dress so nicely and I don't, because I'm in leggings and sweatpants, which isn't a bad fit. Granted, I'm not like put it on when I do that, but like, it's not like I'm wearing bright orange and bright green. Like, the colors go together. Not me arguing. It's not about that. But they all voted for me, and I voted for myself, and that really stung, because there weren't really any other negative questions to my memory. So the only negative question was the one that I got. And seeing that 100%, and like seeing them all, only one of the other friends tried to make me feel better about it. She was like, oh, I don't know. It's still to this day, and I was still friends with them after that for good like 3-4 months. And when I look back, I'm like, why would I ever put up with that?
Really him. You're a victim.
You teach people how to treat you, and people treat you how you let them. Yeah. So in that moment, I didn't stick up for myself. None of my friends stuck up for me. It felt very pointed. And I think that really was a blow to, oh my gosh. I'm like trying, guys. I'm trying. It's so funny. I have that entire story in my notes as the worst dressed debacle, because it was a debacle. But anyway, I think that kind of sums up all of the big stories that I can relate to me tampering down on effort, and how that's manifested itself in different areas of my life. I also feel like I'm not trying as hard as I could be in terms of my academics. Like, I used to be really on top of my stuff, and I feel like I'm just not really anymore. And I'm sure a little bit of it is like senioritis. I'm in my 4th year, but I have another year after this. And I know there are so many quotes that say, failure's not trying. You fail as soon as you give up. Yeah, and I agree. But failure could also be subjective. Failure can be in the eyes of the beholder. Everybody has a different threshold for failure, and everybody's judging you based off of their own opinions. And another thing that I have always hated is social media. It's just so pervasive. They're everywhere. On Snapchat, it's like, friends suggested because of your contacts. On TikTok, it's like, can we have access to your contacts? And it's like, no, you can't, because not everything is for people in your contacts, okay? Like, I'm not trying to have people in my contacts all up in my TikTok, because that is just my happy fun time place, honestly. And slowly but surely, every time I meet a friend, they find my TikTok, and they all proceed to watch all of my TikToks in my face and laugh and be like, what are you doing? Why did you post that? Blah, blah, blah. Get off my page. Get it. And I hate that. Why? It's like, because it's like supposed to be my own little thing that I have separate from the people that I actually know. Just a little fun thing to put out into the internet ether and move on with my life. And when they find it, every single time they just watch every single video in front of me. I don't know why I don't just get up and walk away, because I'm just like sinking in shame. It's like nothing embarrassing too. It's just like using different filters and like little think pieces on things that don't matter. But like, I just don't like that. I don't like that at all. I really don't. But I think on a bigger scale, I don't like people seeing me try and be passionate about something, because I think effort and passion kind of go hand in hand, or drive, and I've definitely noticed like I don't really have many passions like I used to as a child. Like, I mean, I love music and reading, but I don't like do those things as much as I used to as a child. I love art. I don't draw anymore. I love to swim. I don't swim anymore. It's like if someone asked me what my hobbies are, I would say listening to music, but that is such like a passive thing. Like, that's not a hobby. I want to have hobbies that I can have something to show for. Like, I'm getting into embroidering and scrapbooking, because I have an issue with keeping every single little thing. Like, I love keeping receipts, and I don't know. But I think I've just had a huge realization lately, even from just this talking about this right now, that I have just like tampered down my effort from, I think it was like 100 when I was in high school, and now I feel like it's chilling at a solid 20. And that's so bad, because that happened from me taking into account every single person's opinion about me. And some opinions do matter, and you need to decide in life whose opinions are you going to take to heart and be like, you know what, they have a point. But if you take into account everybody's opinion of you, like, you just won't ever do anything. And that is exactly where I am right now. I'm not doing anything, guys. I'm not. And just talking about it right now is like upsetting to me, because it's like, why would I do that? Why did I let myself be so bogged down by what other people thought of me that my life is not as full as it used to be? It's just not. I don't know why my shoulders were like this the whole time. I think I'm actually getting upset. Don't let people do that to you. I think that's going to be the main takeaway from this. Don't let other people's opinions of you weigh you down to the point that you just stop moving. Okay? And like I said, I'm not trying to say don't listen to anybody. some people genuinely do love you and their opinions are out of love and they want the best for you. So listen to that. And like, if like one of my friends was like, girl, you're gonna regret that video in like 10 business days, 10 business months, you should take that down, I'd probably be like, okay girl, okay. But some random person, like if they said that, I think if a random person told me that like 6 months ago, I'd be like, oh yes, absolutely, I'll take it down. And it's like, why? That person doesn't know me. That person doesn't know why I posted that. That person doesn't, they don't know anything. They don't, guys, people don't know anything. Okay? And I feel like I'm making contradicting statements maybe to the viewer, but like up here, oh, I just got lip gloss. Up here, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't be embarrassed of your passions, and don't let random people's opinions of you stop you from doing the things that you love. All right? That is what I'm trying to get at today. That is what I'm moving towards talking about. And I feel like from all those stories that I've told you, I think I had 3 main big ones. And if you were involved in any of these stories, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I just don't want to hear. I don't want an apology. I don't want think peace. I want silence. One thing about me, the scissors stay sharp. I am no longer scared to cut people off. Whereas I used to be. So a lot of the people involved in these stories, so I don't even remember who they are, or they are cut. Okay. I don't want to make this too long-winded. I think I've given a lot of my key takeaways, but this new era of my life, I always have 2 New Years, the actual calendar New Year and my birthday. One of my resolutions for this year is to keep trying. Keep trying. You stumble, you stop, you get back up, and you keep trying. I don't want people to dissuade me from trying. And that is going to be easier said than done, because I'm trying to undo years of like mental gymnastics of trying to people please. I'm a recovering people pleaser. Oh my goodness. But yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Have a good night, evening, day, afternoon, or whenever you are watching this, and I will see you when you see me. Bye. I think one of my next videos is going to be something along the lines of like 21 things I learned in 21 years. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really start learning until I like had consciousness, so those first like 5 don't really count. Okay, this lip gloss is sticky and it's getting to me now.